So this is a really quick video just in case anybody else is experiencing this. I think I told you guys, I know I haven't updated the video about my trip yet because I wanted to edit it with like photos in it, and that just hasn't happened yet. We've been busy. I have two x70s now, and this is truly one of my favorite cameras I've ever owned aside from the X100 series. Now the reason is when we were on our trip to Disney, I got about 2-3 photos out of this camera. I didn't take it every day, but when I went to go transfer it to my phone that night, so I went to go do my usual thing. You know, the function button is the Wi-Fi connection button. I've been doing this since I've had this camera. Connect to the app, connect, download the photos. When I went to do it, the camera just shut off, and I thought, okay, maybe the battery was dead and I didn't realize. So tried to keep turning it on, would not turn on. Then I finally put a new battery in. I didn't try just taking the battery out and putting the same one back in, but I did put a new one in, turned on, and there was all these like weird lines on the screen, and like it looked like the connection image was burned into the screen behind stuff, and I was really freaked out. Later that night, after a lot of Googling and research, I decided to reset the camera to factory settings, which seemed to fix the issue. And I was like, oh, I fixed my camera. Well, then I did the same thing like maybe a few days later when we got home, and I tried to transfer images, and the same thing happened again. And you can still see the menu, you can still see the screen, I can still take pictures, but like the screen gets all messed up. And I thought that's really weird, so I took it to the local camera store. They don't have someone there, but they have someone at another office who does all their repairs. For free, they sent it off to him, and he called me last week and he's like, I'm not seeing it do what's going on. So I tried to explain from myself instead of what was typed in. And like his thought is that sounds like a circuit board issue or something. It's not just like he could replace the screen. So at that point, he's like, there's not really anything we can do, but he still hadn't even seen it do that. And he's like, I will try, but I'm not seeing any of that happen. So I don't know if he ever did get to, but he did say he was just going to go ahead and send it back to me because he wasn't sure he could do anything with that, and that's fine. So I got it back yesterday. Also yesterday, got my new one because I was like, well, he said he can't fix it. I need this because I've learned, even in the few weeks I haven't been able to use it, I've missed this camera so much. It's so convenient for places that even my X100V or 6 is considered too big to be allowed into. I know I have the Canon G7X, but a 1-inch point and shoot is a very different like look and feel than a APS-C sensor point and shoot. And this has all the film simulations. Like I just leave it on Reggie's Portra and I don't ever change it. The photos out of this just come out so beautiful and nostalgic, whereas my Canon, like I'm gonna have to edit every single photo and I still may not even like them. This doesn't always nail focus, and I know that, and I've accepted that with Fuji, but I do still love this camera so much that to me it was worth it. But of course now the prices are like not quite double, but almost double what I paid for mine last year, and I only had this since last January. So I haven't even had it a year, and it was having issues. And I know it's from 2016, I know it's an old camera, but I know so many people who their X70s have lasted so long, and they've like been like dropped and dragged behind a car and things like that, and they're still fine. And so I'm like, maybe I just got a dud. So this one came yesterday. I've been using it a lot and I'm just obsessed with using it again. I love this camera, but I went to do the connection to the app last night, and not the exact same thing. The screen didn't do anything weird, but it did shut my camera off, and it's almost like this weird thing keeps happening when I try to connect to my phone now. Well, it also dawned on me that right before all those issues happened with this one, I updated to iOS 18, and I'm on the beta program. I don't know if that's the issue, but reading some forums, people said with that specific camera mode app, the older Fuji app, because you have to use that for these, it cannot handle updates sometimes, so you almost have to delete it and reinstall it every time your phone updates, and then like delete the pairings and redo them. I haven't done any of that yet. I did delete the app and reinstall it, but I've done nothing else since then because I'm kind of nervous to even use it since like that. I have an SD card reader if I have to use it. I could carry it with me every day anyway. It's just not my favorite. So I don't know. And part of me's like, so did I just jump the gun and this one's not actually broken? But the whole screen issues I was having did kind of make me nervous that something is going bad in it. And I love this camera so much, it was worth having a second one. I didn't post the unboxing video on here, but I can. This came in like the box with everything pretty much wrapped up. This was the only thing that obviously had been like re-wrapped up. I don't know if it was a like floor model in a store or what, but it is like pristine brand new. And with the box and everything and the manuals, and I was like, this is so bizarre. So at least I know it was worth getting this one because there were people offering barely less than what I paid for this, and theirs were all beat up and scratched. So I got really lucky on that. So at least now, if nothing else, I have a backup x70. I don't know that I would carry the old one around with me though, because I'm afraid it'll just die again, and then it'll be a day where I really wish I had that specific like focal length or that specific tiny camera with me, and then I won't be able to use it because it died. So I don't know. I kind of want to keep playing around with it and see if it does it anymore. If it was truly just that weird connection thing, like that is the most bizarre thing. But I guess if nothing else, now I have two. Just like it feels weird that now I have an X100V and a 6, although that was more just so I have a backup because I use these so much even on my professional shoots sometimes just for extra photos. But also it'd be nice if I can get my husband to carry one while I carry the other so I can get nice shots from a nice camera of me instead of having to either hand off my camera or say just pull out your phone. The other update that I've talked about a little bit is I also have an X-T32, which I've had for a while, but I did upgrade, it's used and in really nice condition, to an X-T4. Why did I want the X-T4? Because I personally want the articulating screen that flips all the way around. That's a huge reason why I love the X70. I can take self-portraits on it so easily, and it weirdly refocuses. Like most cameras that I have, unless it's my Canons, even my Sony didn't, they do not refocus on interval timer or something. This one does. And I don't understand why that technology was not moved into new ones, but I wanted the X-T4 for when I take photos of me with my husband, things like that, and I can just have the frame facing us so I know where we are in the frame and what to do. So I did get that. It is very heavy. I don't know that I would use it for travel. I did take it to Disney, but then and I was thinking for the weather sealing too, but I don't have any weather sealed lenses yet. It's nice, it's just, it is so big and heavy compared to my X-T30 that I think if I were to use a travel camera in the future, I would take these two. I would take my X70 and my X106, and if I wanted to take an interchangeable lens system, I would just take my X-T30 with lenses instead of this, because this is so heavy by itself. But my plan is that I'm going to start taking this with me on professional shoots and weddings so that I can get some use with this, because I've really loved using Fuji, like way more than I ever imagined, and I kind of wish I had started on them instead of with Olympus, because I literally did it for the like retro nostalgic look. And I'm just in love with Fuji now. I still love my Canon cameras, but I love Fuji. So that's my update.